There's a couple of other things I'd like to just point out and reference back to the expertise that was just shared. And I want to, again, thank you for hearing from these experts. Your school board wanted you to be able to hear from them. We are actually, because of acoustics, having to listen very carefully because these experts are wanting to make sure that you in the audience also understand. The board has other access to those experts should they need them, so we can always follow up with them later. That's a little different for our audience members. I want to point something out to you that might be creating confusion. CMS is closed tomorrow. That is not because we believe the building to be unsafe. The reason it is closed is to support staff and students in the process of returning to school. It is closed to allow our team time to continue our investigations and debriefings. Now, you may say, well, if it's safe, why are you investigating? Well, in addition to our tendency to, well, it's not a tendency, our priority of safety, we've also heard you loud and clear to double check with anybody that we can double check with. And I want to very openly say we have leaned on a variety of experts. The members of our board have all different forms of professional experience. And I hope I don't forget any of them at this time. And they are providing citizen oversight to this process. So what they are doing is they are receiving communications from me, frequent updates, and if they have an idea that they think will help our team, they'll get it back to us. So I want you to know how well composed the citizens that you all, whether they are elected or appointed, have put on this board are. On our board, we have immediate access to an expert in nursing, an expert in risk management, multiple individuals with backgrounds in engineering and construction, additional expertise in risk management from a variety of perspectives. I am thinking about Mr. Franson at this time. He has very rich training in the different risks that exist in our world. We have people who are expert in human emotions, like Ms. Scruggs-Duncan. We have experts in education who support the experts in the field. We're fortunate to have that, and I sincerely hope I haven't left out any area of expertise. It's not my intention. I also want you to hear we're doing lots of double checks by leaning on that. So we are continuing to pull in opportunities to double check whatever we can double check. I cannot tell you how many videos we have watched, how many documents we have read, how many phone calls we have placed. We have woken up colleagues with very important jobs in many organizations in the middle of the night to keep them engaged in this process. It's not because we think we're unsafe. We don't. We're trying to honor our core value, and we're trying to honor what you have communicated to us. And one of the things that I want to say, and I'm going to specifically ask Jason Elmore, who I had the privilege of meeting yesterday, to correct me if there's anything that I say incorrectly. One of the things that is happening here is these organizations are following very detailed protocols. I have had a lot of professional experiences. I have never seen a hazmat team in action first person. It was amazing, the level of double checks that were there. It is unfortunate sometimes that that takes time for them to do their work. It's not instant. And several of you, well, many of you, have asked for their reports from us. We don't have a report because they have been so active in their investigation that their data is still being compiled. And I want to just kind of underscore that. If it pleases the chair, I'd love to offer Mr. Elmore the opportunity to say if that information was correct.
That is correct, yes.
Thank you, sir. So that's why that's happening. Chief Smith, I remembered you had a visual aid at one point. Was it your intention to share that visual aid, or did I miss that?
No, I did have a visual aid. I mean,
May Chief Smith show that? Thank you.
I'll tell you what I'll share with the media and let them just go
Okay.
ahead and put it out later on after the
Wonderful. Chief in his research has a chart that is very helpful in understanding carbon monoxide levels. I also want to emphasize to you the amount of communication that's out there from AHPS and some of the trends we notice in accessing them. We are noticing that some of our official communication materials are not necessarily receiving the attention that we would expect, because we can monitor how many people are seeing them, right? We're using our technology to make sure they're reaching their audience, all right? And we're a little concerned about that. But I want to remind you that there is rich information on the AHPS website. There are 2 media statements. There's a frequently asked questions document that has now been updated several times. Our technology team is working really hard to help that happen. And part of the way we're updating that document is that you email AHPS info and tell us something that you have a question about. If we are not spending time on Facebook looking for the questions because we are focused on student and staff safety, if questions are not communicated to us, if information is not communicated to us, we do not know it, and we cannot share it with partners who are also trying to help us make good decisions. Because I am one of the people, it's a team effort, but one of the people monitoring the email address specifically established for this purpose, I can tell you that very few people have sent in questions. I understand that that may be because there aren't questions. I don't think that's right. I understand that may be because people have found answers. Could be any host of reasons. But if you have a question, I want you to email that address. And I want to tell you, I had staff and myself responding to those emails very late. Well, actually very early this morning. We're taking care of that inbox. So please tell us what we need to know in that inbox. And I want to specifically thank, again, the chair for a point of privilege. Is there anything else you would like for me to add that I think I could assist with?
Yes,
Thank you.